Welcome back, friendlets. Play some more Persona 5-way. Is that Morgana?
Okay.
It's time to show SHITdo who's boss and snap the public out of the trance they're in. Heck yee, I agree. Morgana. Can I cough it or not? I'm gonna cough it. I didn't need coffee, but I'm going to stockpile coffee for SHITdo's to try and go through the entirety of SHITdo's. Stop, Sojiro! SHITdo this, SHITdo that. Oh, it's gone to hell. It's okay, we're fixing that. We're gonna fix that. I doubt! But now I know that you can only do it in the rooms anyway. Alright. But yeah, I'll still make curry when I can because I'm sure
Make sure your clothes up.
Again, fast forward until I get to the trivia.
Yes, alright.
Well, until I get to Sojiro's notes on the type of coffee. I wonder when it starts repeating. There has to be a finite number of these coffee descriptions, right?
Well then.
I wonder if it's already repeated and I just am not aware. I swear it hasn't repeated, or at least much. Oh wait, oh wow, okay. It's not even an option this time. Okay. I wonder how long it hasn't been one. Maybe it stops after all the entries are over with. Or maybe it just doesn't do it this time.
Last one.
But yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the public, because what I've noticed is a lot of those public things just... I think it's kind of a problem this game has, where it reinforces its own themings and its own information over and over and over and over and over, to the point where even someone forgetful like me is like, okay, I get it, you know, with so many things, and the way that they do the whole big reveal thing is so redundant, and then extra redundant on top of being redundant. On top of these things all being at least a little bit inferable throughout the game, to some degree or another. Although maybe a lot of that bias is coming from knowing how it all fits together before I got here in this playthrough, but you know.
Conditions have not been met.
No good.
Dakota hug.
How many do we miss? Perhaps he truly does have a barrier up. Right?
That's not something to be excited about.
Ryuji's just excited he was right for once on or at least he seems to have evidence that he was. Let him have that until we disprove him.
We know all the way up to Diet Building too.
So you enter keywords into the Metaverse Navigator.
Boss, can you turn the TV on? SHITdo might be on it.
Sure thing.
Goro Akechi. Him and his stupid composed face.
So, Akechi-san, is it true you withdrew yourself from the media as part of your plan to capture the Phantom Thieves?
I truly apologize for causing such a stir. Honestly, it required a lot of courage to openly oppose them when their popularity was at its peak. I mean, people often lashed out at me online and whatnot.
Then was it also your plan when you said they weren't at fault after their popularity declined?
That was to catch them off guard. I could say I applied my profiling knowledge. Once they lost public support, someone they thought was their greatest enemy lent a hand. That's the same strategy used in romance, wouldn't you agree?
Why is he being treated as an ace detective of justice?
Although I think using strategies in romance is wrong, and it should be based on a natural connection and not deception in order to get into someone's pants or get them to love you, if that's not like a personal part of them. So, in my opinion, him saying that, the same strategy used in romance, that makes it clear what kind of manipulative person he is. God.
It's not just on TV or online. Newspapers, magazines. I see his face everywhere.
On the other hand, no one's hoping for our comeback on the fan site. Like, at all.
The Phantom Thieves are evil. SHITdo and Akechi are just. It should be the other way around.
This is true. We all as players know this, you know, because we follow us and we follow the Phantom Thieves and we know exactly actually what happens, but yeah, fortunately most of the public seems to think the opposite of the truth here. But you know what's funny is I think that that's part of the intention of the developers is, hey, you know, gotta be careful what you believe, because a lot of times it's just bullcrap that people use to sell things or for their own gain or what have you.
They're manipulating information using the media.
Leaving Akechi aside, we'll get back at him later. Our main issue is SHITdo.
Were there any instances before when you didn't know the palace keywords?
Well, there was the time with Futaba.
We didn't know anything about her, so all we could do was make conjectures.
Then why don't we just go directly and see SHITdo?
That's impossible. He's surrounded by bodyguards and followers all the time.
There's no way high school students can get an appointment with him either.
Well, we do have an adult with us.
No, that's still impossible. Besides, that's too dangerous a method.
Well, this is a problem.
What's with the ruckus outside?
To everyone gathered before Yongen Jaya Station.
Isn't that an election campaign card?
Oh right! The candidates are currently campaigning!
That voice.
I apologize for the commotion. I am MasASSHOLEshi SHITdo.
Also known as the king of all assholes. And, see, you know how my thumbnail for this series, guys, is, that Toy Story meme of, where Buzz is just kind of, like, smugly, like, got his arm around, like, a horrified Woody, and it's like, assholes everywhere, and then I pasted Joker's face over one of them, and then, just the logo of the game over Woody's face, and the logo of the game over Buzz's face. The reason I did that, the reasoning behind the whole asshole thing was, like, you know, at one point while I was playing this game, this game's just full of assholes. All our enemies are assholes, Akechi's an asshole, SHITdo's an asshole, all the people we go against are assholes. There's a bunch of assholes just, like, slowly, you know, there's a bunch of assholes all over a school, like, we walk around, and there's constantly people talking shit about us, and, you know, you go to the screens, and people are always talking shit about the Phantom Thieves, like, go to the screens, I mean, all the loading screens and stuff. Like, there's so many assholes. This game's just full of assholes. That's the reasoning behind my thumbnails there, if any of you might be wondering.
Wait, did he just say SHITdo?
Yeah, he did!
Especially the beginning of the game, it like hammers in how many assholes there are in this universe. This was the same voice I heard back then.
Man, talk about being lucky! We can go check him out without an appointment now!
This is another one of those things that's very inferable way earlier on, but only now is it revealed in the plot that SHITdo was the same guy that got us to come here. And I was about to say fuck this over, but I didn't, you know why? Weirdly enough, if SHITdo hadn't got us charged with assault, we would not have been carted off to Yongen Jaya. We would not be living in this cafe. We would not have met our friends. Joker would not have met Makoto either, and in my headcanon, he's going to be happily married to her for the rest of his life, you know. I imagine they're going to be dating for a few more years, and then he'll pop the question and everything. And I refuse to believe any other outcome for them, because they deserve that happiness. And everyone else has at least decent lives as well. I have to think about what I want for the outcomes of the lives of the rest of the crew, too, but I definitely would like them to have happy outcomes as well, because of course. I won't just, like, ramble on here about what I think about that, but I'd like to have solid answers, at the very least, have, like, I'd like to call my canon playthrough from Persona 5 Royal and have that happen then, I think. Like, you know, have those said then, basically.
Hey, Ryuji ran off toward the station. This way. Hurry! And by the way, did something happen? You didn't seem well a moment ago.
We only just now realized it in character, apparently, even though there's been so many hints as to the one, as to SHITdo being the guy. Hope you didn't try anything.
We will be counting on you.
We'll stand together. Stand out too much if we all go together. Please investigate here. Okay, so I know for story purposes why we're the ones, but you know, or else we wouldn't have this section to play. But it's really stupid of them to send me alone because I'm, you know, if anyone recognizes my face and has any connection to SHITdo, there's a lot of people with SHITdo connections, I'm sure, or else he would not get done everything he gets done. Like, if anyone notices me, I'm dead, probably, literally. So, you know, if anyone notices Joker, he's dead. It's really stupid to send him alone. Someone else should go. But so the one behind the death of Haru's father may be out there. Please check it out here. Let's wait here and buy my time. Why are they sending him? I know why. Again, you know, this part of the game pisses me off the more that I kind of analyze it here. Because I'm trying to provide content instead of just play through the game and get through it for all the story beats. And also, I've started to be more okay with having a critical lens of something that I love. Because it actually lets me derive more enjoyment from things in the end a lot of the time. Anyway. Although, does it really? I don't know. It's the same amount. I was afraid that it would make me not enjoy things, but that's not really how I work anymore. That's how I used to work. That's why I avoided negative reviews and movies in general for a while, but, you know, not so much anymore. Alright, well, let's go out on our own because we're being stupid, apparently. Maybe it's because I have the hood on. No, the others aren't gonna be recognizable by anyone, are they? Like, why are we going on our own? That's so dumb. That's so, like, literally life-threateningly dangerous. At least that's how I interpret this situation, of course.
Now is the time to rebuild this crumbling nation.
And when I say rebuild, I actually mean tear it down myself for my own personal gain. But of course you all don't know that, because I'm really good at acting like I have the opposite intention.
Our government is littered with scandals, and criminals have taken a strong foothold in our society.
Especially me, but of course you don't know that, because I'm really good at pretending I'm not an asshole.
Such a disgraceful past must be discarded. We must set sail into a new future of dreams and hope.
For me and no one else, because I fucking hate all of you and everything except for myself, but I don't talk about that because of course I wouldn't be elected and have all the power that I want if I did that. Sorry, like if it generally like annoys some of you that I'm being so snarky at SHITdo, it's because I hate him so much and you're supposed to, and I apologize if that annoys y'all, friends. SHITdo? Is it that SHITdo? He's here? Where is he? Whoa, this is amazing. Let's go check it out. Yeah, hey guys, hey. You shouldn't fucking follow him. No one should. Anyway.
So our nation can once again become a powerful one with abundant wealth and luxury.
For me, and only me.
So our beautiful home will be acknowledged as the best country in the world.
So that I can be acknowledged as the best person in the world because my ego is bigger than everything ever. Fuck you, SHITdo. So much. Is that guy SHITdo? That's right, he's a strong, admirable man, and I am a fucking gullible idiot, and I really hope that for my son's future, and my family's future, I grow a brain. Or else I'll probably be a terrible mother for the rest of my life. Even more than Dad? Well, yeah, I'd say so. SHITdo's the one. Okay, dude, you need to get some self-confidence. I know it's hard. I personally know that's hard. But I've done it. It's definitely a thing that can happen, okay? And you need to fucking stop thinking like that about SHITdo specifically. Or anyone. No one's better than anyone. Everyone's human. And the more that you solidify that thought in your mind, the easier relationships are, the less your ego gets in the way of everything. And yeah, everything's all gooch. Or at least as gooch as it can be. You know what? When I say that everything's all gooch, I really mean just that. It's as gooch as it can be. And it's not like nothing can have no pain, but I fully believe that suffering can be eliminated. Or at the very least, you can have a different relationship to suffering to where it doesn't actually feel like suffering anymore. It's just there. And you can enjoy the finer things in life and the better things in life better because you have a different relationship to pain than most people are born with. Especially develop as a result of what seems to be generally poor ways of raising kids and ways of speaking to children by authority figures like teachers. And authority figures like this fucker. Because I am totally not an evil dickhead who will middle finger all y'all and do things only for myself when I become president. Or Prime Minister.
Together.
Yes, together, and totally not by myself, because I'm totally not an asshole.
I hope to continue serving you all.
And by serving, I mean pretending to serve you all, and just serving myself.
Is that the guy?
Yep.
You guys wait here. I'll go get intel for us.
Ryuji, stop being an idiot! Ryuji, please! Ryuji, stop rushing in. It always goes bad for you.
Hey! Yo, SHITdo-san!
Ryuji, you fucking... Bodyguards probably, like, have legal precedent to clock you right now, dude.
Stand back.
Well,
I just
maybe
want to
not
talk
quite
to him
yet.
for a sec.
He's a busy man.
The hell? Ain't he supposed to hear a citizen's comments?
That's enough, Brad.
You're that asshole we met at the hotel before, at the elevators. Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry. So you can butt in front of other people if you're in a hurry?
What are you talking about?
That moron! Come on, stop!
But these guys...
Hey, kid, you don't want to know what happens when you cross me.
Yep. We should have noticed this earlier, damn it! This is the one thing I really actually actively hate about the plot of this game. Because, okay, the fact that after the big reveal, quote-unquote, which could be inferable... I don't actually know how inferable that is, but the fact that they retroactive it so much, and the fact that they also basically tell it to you like 3-ish times if you go ahead and listen to Futaba's spiel about it. She does give some more details in that speech than was ever said before, but you know. There's just a lot. This part of the game is paced so oddly, and it's really just a recap more than anything, and hey, just in case you're an idiot or forgot or never suspected any of this stuff, even though this SHITdo thing was hinted at really strongly many times in the game before, here you go, SHITdo's that dude, but the player should have already noticed it. Maybe it's the drugs? No, yes, maybe? No, hold on, I'm thinking. No, he didn't really quite put the voice to who the guy was before, even at the elevator thing. Actually, wait, was SHITdo the one talking there? I don't remember. Did he talk at all there? In that one? I'm not sure. Alright.
This ain't a show. Get lost, kid. Damn brat! I'll sue!
This man, there's no mistake. He's the same motherfucking asshole as the one from before. The asshole that started all this business of me having to run into all these other assholes. I'm looking at an asshole.
This country is filled with clueless children. I worry for Japan's future.
It's also filled with assholes like you. That's why I worry for Japan's future. I don't know about you. And America's future. Donald Trump, what? Okay.
Let them go. My next appointment is coming up.
Now, we're out of the presidency, we're in Biden's, thankfully, but still, it's like, he's why I got arrested.
Wait, he's the jerk you told us about before?
Yep.
The same guy? For real? Seriously?
Yep, small world, I guess.
You're sure, aren't you?
Yep. Put the voice to the face and everything.
SHITdo's the one who ruined your life.
Yep.
Holy shit. I don't believe it.
Let's
Well,
get going, okay?
When Morgana says ruined his life, I don't know about that. In fact, I would say that probably right now, of course, I don't know what his life was like before. Maybe he felt his life was better. But now he has all of these new friends, and a really strong purpose, and this ability to help people that a lot of people in real life would really like to have the same ability. You know? And also, a girlfriend, Makoto. So, you know, and he loves the fuck out of her, in my headcanon, so much, and they are going to get married. That is my headcanon, period. They're gonna get married and live happily ever after. I don't fucking care how cliche it is. I love her too much, and they're dynamic too much to not do that. So, yeah, I would say that Morgana says he ruined his life. Okay, sure, you could kind of say that for up until he started meeting y'all, but after that, I'd say his life's better now. It's really an interesting thing if you think about it. I've touched on this before the Let's Play. SHITdo's kind of the reason that his life is better now in some ways, too. And a lot of times, circumstances that seem like completely bad at the time in life end up leading to the best circumstances you have later. It's a very interesting thing, the ebb and flow of that.
SHITdo's the guy who set you up?
Yuppers.
What kind of fate brought you two back together?
I want to know myself, because I don't think at this point he can say it's just coincidence.
Talk about a destined connection.
Yep, just like the one between you and I, Makoto. And I really wish you could say that, or like, I just really wish that, you know, I feel like, okay, lines like this, I bet there's not going to be anything about...
SHITdo was involved in the cognitive research too.
Okay, before I even listen to it, I need to say one thing, okay? Before we continue with this conversation. I really wish they at least inserted lines in some places, and some reactions, and some, like, they don't have to be voice acted at all. I understand if they're not. But I don't think it would take too much development time or money to have some extra lines. Like, right there when Makoto said, talk about a destined connection, then, if you're dating her, she could also say something like, just like the one between you and me, and, you know, she has the blushing portrait and everything, and, like, I'd also love just your friends to acknowledge the relationship at all. Like, I understand. They'd have to do a lot of that all over the game. But all I know is that if I develop a game, I will not skimp on that kind of a thing as much as I mean, of course, I want to develop it with a team, you know, but if at all possible. Maybe it's really a development thing, but it might also just be the management. They wanted them to focus on X and Y and Z and not making the romances really make sense with the rest of the game. Because, yeah, that's a lot of work they'd have to do for that. Instead, they just don't acknowledge the romances in most of the game. And I don't like that. And they really don't in Strikers, and I really don't like that. Anyway.
Right? This can't be dismissed as just a coincidence.
God, what the hell's going on here?
SHITdo was already a politician then. Yet he sued a student and ruined his future? He must have pulled some strings so that his name wouldn't be mentioned. Furthermore, he also would have had to force that woman into making a false statement.
Yep, and he did do that.
He would do anything. We're talking about a man who ordered a hit inside the police station.
Yep, and the man who ordered a lot more hits before that.
He can't sit still until he crushes
and also,
whoever opposes him, no matter how trivial. He's always been that way.
And also the man that probably went ahead and raped that woman after he took care of us.
What a piece of shit.
Agreed, Ryuji. A fucking agreed.
Children are the future, my ass! What he's saying and doing are completely different!
Absolutely. Well fucking said, Ryuji. See, the whole Ryuji's dumb joke, I'm starting to get more into it than I thought I would during this playthrough. It just pissed me off at first, but the more and more the game goes on, for some reason, the more I actually think it's funny and end up catching myself agreeing with their Ryuji sentiments. But, like, stuff like this, okay, he's very, I'd say, you know what, I'd say Ryuji's very emotionally intelligent to a degree. He needs to work on that, but I'd say he is. He's definitely very intuitive, and he uses his passion to great effect, I would say. And Ryuji's been, like, the main, like, one of the main driving motivative forces of the Phantom Thieves, and he's really on top of the Phantom Thieves stuff, and he's not lazy about it, and he's really proactive about it, and he's extremely, you know, when he puts his mind to something, he really does seem smart sometimes, and, like, he makes some really good judgment calls in everything. And he's definitely done some things that have saved our ass throughout the game, for sure.
But now that we found out who did it, can't something be done about his record?
Once the courts have made a judgment, overturning that decision will be difficult. It'd barely be possible even if proof of innocence is presented and SHITdo admits to his crimes.
At any rate, we need to trigger a change of heart in him.
Be that as it may, SHITdo's outer appearance and his true face are wholly different. It's beyond hypocritical. It's as if he's an entirely different person. He speaks about the good of the country. It makes me wonder what really is on his mind.
That man's full of ambition to rise in the world. He only thinks of the weak as stepping stools for his success.
He treats himself as an elite man while looking down on others. That's the worst.
I assume the keyword for what he believes the Diet building is will be despicable too.
It must be something self-centered and completely different from politics.
Someone like him needs to be punished as soon as possible.
Agreement.
Let's head to the Diet building again right after school tomorrow. I feel we'll get it this time.
Stewing over it won't get anywhere. We have to do this.
Yep. I really love Makoto's blue suit there, by the way. I always love, you know, businesswoman attire, woman in uniform, just, Okay. The guy behind everything turned out to be your archenemy. What an oddly poetic twist. Oh yeah, those clothes. You'd stand out if everyone else is wearing their school uniforms. Might be a good idea to wear your uniform when you head out.